Just another word about It's a Boy. You had to raise a lot of money to put that together, didn't you? And as the time went on, the amount got higher and higher, didn't it?
Well, it's kind of started off very funny. You know, it started 3 years before that. I had this idea, was having a curry, and someone said, oh, you've got to speak to this guy, Julian Tewksbury, who's an animator. So I told Julian, he said, oh, yeah, I can do that. It'll be 38 minutes. It'll cost 20 grand, and it'll take 6 months. Yeah. And I thought, I've got the faith for that. And it turned out to take 3 years and cost $250,000. And I tell you, you know, it was near the end, because I was one who looked like a dipstick.
But you had a lot of real answer to prayer over that money, didn't you?
I tell you, we did. But, you know, sometimes it's really sexy talking about raising money and money coming in, but, you know, when you're living with it, I had sleepless nights. And it was funny, we watched it. We've had a wonderful weekend staying at the Mitchells. And I watched it again today with the kids, and it just gets so emotional at the end. I can't watch the end credits. I just think of this wonderful team that we got together. And I had a little sob. It's pathetic, isn't it? But, you know, what a team. What, you know, and it's gone to America. Hit America 2 years ago. It's hit Australia. So this little story that was birthed in a curry house in Bristol.
And it's there, and it's there forever now.
Well, it is. It's like a little baby. It's kind of grown. You know, the money grew from that to that. And I don't think if I'd have known $250,000, I don't think, if I'm really honest, I'd have had the faith for that. No. I'd have thought, you know, that's not for me. Find someone else with more faith. Yeah.
You're also editor and publisher of a magazine called Sorted. Yeah, what's that about?
You kind of say sorted.
Sorted.
Sorted is how you should
say it. What's Sorted about?
Sorted is, I'll get in trouble with my wife for that. Glad my mother's not here. I started a magazine for blokes, because all the stuff I do is kind of creative ways of reaching people. And I love gadgets and, well, motoring so-so, but entertainments and love football. And I thought, you know, if you want those sort of things, in the high street, there's Nuts, there's Loaded, there's FHM, and they're not the most helpful thing in the world. So I thought, well, how about starting my own magazine for blokes? It's called Sorted. The Daily Telegraph called it the Men's Mag with Morals. And I really like that. And it's 80 pages every time. We have a lot of celebrity stuff in there. We have some high-class advertisers. There we are. And it's good, wholesome stuff. And we have great Christian communicators who are great at reaching people who aren't believers yet. So Jeff Lucas writes for us, Jay John, Lyndon Bowering, Rob Parsons, Adrian Plass.
A lot of people we've had here.
Well, you know, loads of people you've had. And it's, you know, how to be a great dad, how to be a better husband. And what's really exciting about this, we donate 2,000 of these every time to the British Armed Forces. And we're on every Royal Navy base in the world, every submarine, every marine base, every RAF base, a lot of the army as well. And we get incredible letters and emails back from guys who've picked this up. I was on HMS Illustrious a little while ago, and it's sitting there, you know, next to Nuts and Loaded, and it's sitting there. What was said? Who's just come on? Someone laughed. And people are picking it up and they're reading it and they're hearing about God in a totally non-threatening way. So I'm really proud of Sorted. It's bi-monthly. It's £1.50 a month, standing order, or you can pay £3 in addition, £18 a year. And I say to the ladies, because we donate these to the armed forces, and they tell us for every magazine is read by 50 blokes. So ladies, how about £1.50 a month? You can adopt 50 soldiers. Carol? 50 sailors. You know, Mark, I think, worked out that's 3 pence each. 3 pence a soldier to hear about God. Yeah. That's amazing.
That's fantastic.
That's so cheap. Yeah. Isn't that a bargain?
It's fantastic.
You know, and you probably never meet these soldiers, I'm afraid, until you get to heaven. Wouldn't it be great to know there's guys there in heaven because we've partnered together in this wonderful gospel.
Can I just tell you something? About half an hour before I came out tonight, this person called Carol lives round the corner from me.
What, Carol over here?
I'm afraid so. And I telephoned her and I said, listen, you've really got to come tonight. And her husband says, well, we're thinking about it. I said, well, you really need to.
Who's her husband here? Is it Brian?
No, it's the other side of Brian.
Oh. Have you had an argument? What's happened there? Brian's sitting in the middle. This is very suspect now.
But I don't think she'll be coming again.
She's been the star of the show. She'll get an equity card for this.
Listen, a couple more questions. You and I have something in common. We both suffer from something called OCD. Tell me about OCD, because they might know, and how you get into trouble.
I don't know, what does it stand for?
It's something about
Obsessive-compulsive
obsessive-compulsive disorder. I know how it affects me. You tell me how it affects
Well, I think
you.
it's normal.
I do too.
Yeah.
I can't see
think I'm normal. I think everyone else is
anything
strange.
wrong in putting all your shirts on the same type of hangers in the same cupboard, colour coordinated, and if one's moved, you get up in the middle of the night and you put it back. And you shut all the wardrobe's doors at the same time in the same way. And if there's a light on downstairs at 3 in the morning, you go down and you switch it off. There's nothing wrong. What's wrong with that?
We were talking about it. Mark Mitchell's the same. Little special hangers.
Ridiculous.
I'm like it, David, seeing you ask, with cutlery. We have nice forks, spoons, and we have little spoons. We've got little forks as well.
Yeah.
So I just like little forks to go to the left, and the little spoons go to the right.
Absolutely.
I'm like that. Timing and things. You know, if I'm cooking, you know, I make a little list of when everything goes in,
Yeah.
when it comes out.
And the time, and all in little bowls so as you prepare it all together.
We should get a flat together.
Absolutely, yeah.
No, I'm serious. We can get Carol in to clean.
Absolutely, yeah. Small spoons should be nested one on top of the other, not
Yes.
aside of one another.
I agree with you
Dishcloth should be put neatly over the side. Yes.
Now it's getting a bit much, isn't it? David, you should get out more. No, I agree with you totally. DVDs, they're in my house, alphabetical order.
Absolutely.
Apart from different genres, so comedy has its own shelf.
Yes, let us see.
No, alphabetical order, so you know where things are.
But it does get you into trouble, doesn't it? Because it's hard to live with, to be honest.
It irritates. I can't understand why it irritates people so much.
Yeah. We've come to the end of our time, but one really important question at the end. In the few minutes that we've got left, what message would you like to give to people here tonight who may be seeking God and maybe have come into this building for the very first time? And maybe they've thought about a new life with Jesus, thinking more about God, whether He's real in their lives. But where do they start?
Well, I would say just go for it. You know, he who dares wins, as we used to say in the Special Forces. We've not been able to talk about that tonight, I'm afraid. That will be in the next book. You know, someone challenged me to look at this man Jesus. You can say, well, church is boring, Christians are wallies, and unfortunately some of them are. And some Christians are really boring, but I think they're even more boring than they were before they became a Christian. Do you know what I mean? But you just can't argue about this man Jesus, who certainly did live. I mean, there's more historical fact for the existence of Jesus than Henry VIII, Battle of Hastings, you know, Julius Caesar, all rolled into one. I mean, what's today's date? What is today's date? Of July 2009. 2009 years since what?
Yeah.
Something happened 2009 years ago, so monumental. The whole of history has been divided by that point in human history. Fairy stories don't have that kind of influence on the calendar. You know, a little baby was born in a shed next door to a pub, you know, 2,000 miles away, you know, and he grew up to be a man who would turn the whole world upside down. He wasn't boring, he wasn't religious. Jesus wasn't into religion. Religion is people's efforts to try to get to God. You know, if you pray for 6 hours a day, if you read your Bible for 12 hours a day, if you do this, if you do that, you'll get good enough to get to God. That's what religion is about. Christianity is about a God in heaven reaching down to us through his son Jesus. So I would say, look at Jesus, who lived, who died. He was an incredible person. You know, was put to death, who came back to life again, which is impossible, because he was dead. But he did come back to life again. And he went back to heaven to be with God. And, you know, he's there for you. He really is. So I would say, you know, forget about all these extra bits. Look to God, look to Jesus. And like I did when I was 13 in Bournemouth in my bedroom, get down on your knees and say, God, if you're there, come in and change your life. Because you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. And if you want a life full of purpose, hope, meaning and destiny, you'll find that in God, you really will. Because there's got to be more to life than you eat, you work, you sleep, you have a few holidays, and you die. There's got to be more to life, isn't there?
Yes.
And there is, and you'll find that destiny and hope and meaning in Jesus. So, you know, check it out. Say to God, come in and change me. And he will.
Steve, we've had a fantastic evening, haven't we?
Yeah.
It's been wonderful watching you, wonderful talking to you. I feel privileged to spend this time with you. I know you'll stay where you are, and people, when we finish, can come forward, maybe have a look at the books and have a chat with you.
Can I just say, guys, look at the books, but remember, it's not a library. Okay? No. Carol, get your money out. Come and get it. They'll bless you. They really will. Seriously, we've got some kids' books as well. We started some kids' novels, and there's one called Cyber Sky about cyberbullying. So it's not about God, not about Jesus. It's about the consequences of cyberbullying, which is something that affects 1 in 3 children by the time they're 18. So that's a great read. Once again, for a school, if you don't want it yourself, get it, give it to your school. Put it through someone's door. Do it at midnight if you're scared. Serious. You never know, do you?
Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Legg.